Welcome back to our YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. The event that took place in a requiem mass where bodies of police brutality were paraded in full glare of a camera, and the parents, guardians, relatives and friends of those victims of police brutality were there to showcase their melancholy and their sadness in a country that they call their own, have revived different reactions. Parents were mourning deaths of their children who went, in case they were in demonstrations, were only exercising their democratic rights as entrenched in the Constitution. The Constitution that gives people power, because in the first chapter of our Constitution, it gives power to Kenyans. Other children were removed from their houses. The police broke their houses and killed them. Then the police boss claimed that those were bodies that were hired. So today the parents were there with the portraits of those who are dead, and they gave accounts of what happened. Some of them giving us just the last phone calls they had with their children. And this has really brought a very serious conversation, especially in LUO land. They are asking whether they also have a right to be in this country. As that is happening, members of parliament from a certain community are celebrating the death of another community. And they are saying that their leaders are leading them to a slaughterhouse. They are not afraid of it. They are saying it in parliament. They are saying it in talk shows. They don't care. Albeit because they are now enjoying the trappings of power. And they don't care that they also have children. In that event, a respected woman, Mama Odinga, took to the podium and gave a very disturbing speech that should worry the government of the day. But I know they will not be worried, because all they see is the power of the ugly nozzle of the guns, the power of the police. They will not be worried because recently the ICC prosecutor Karim Khan came to the country and met the senior officials and allies of William Samoei Ruto. And I believe they were assured of protection. They will not be worried because recently William Ruto signed the anti-ICC law that they will soon ratify at the African Union Summit. And so they know that nothing will happen to them. They will not be worried at all. Odinga said something. I'm about to give you that video. That children and youths are being radicalized in broad daylight. Because when you kill people, remove them from the houses, they get radicalized and they will hate the police. Take a look at what Ida said.
Ruto uwi! Ruto uwi! Gachiesa uwi! Gachiesa uwi! Come uwi! Those young people whose bodies are lying there in the coffin, those young people whose bodies are lying there in the coffin, they are real. They are real. Each one of them, they are somebody's child. And as a mother, I feel the pain when somebody can open his mouth, his big mouth, when somebody can open his mouth and say those are rented or hired dead people. How can you hire dead people? Is he the one who received the money that was hired there? If you receive the money, let us know. Every time somebody dies, there's what is called investigations. I would urge the IG, give us the name, the list of names, and parade the policemen who killed these people. How come we've never heard that they've been arrested? How come we've never heard those who killed have been arrested? Who are they? And who is going to investigate them? You are driving this country to the dogs. If you don't arrest them, if you don't parade them, if you don't take them to court, you are driving this country to the dogs. The result and the end result of what is happening will be disastrous because the people will take the law into their own hands. That protects us. If the government cannot protect us, if the police cannot protect us, we have to protect ourselves, isn't it? We'll have to protect ourselves, isn't it? And how do we protect ourselves? Tell them to wait and see. Wait and see. Wait and see. Wait and see. Gibroneno gewangi. We can't have a lawless country where the government is in charge of killing, where the police are in charge of killing, and nothing happens. Surely, we are also human beings. We are human beings. We are real mothers, we are real fathers, we are real brothers. These are our children. If destroy our future, and our future are in these children. If you want to destroy our future will destroy you. Be careful. Don't say that they're helpless, they don't have weapons, they only have stones. Those stones can turn into bullets. Those stones can turn into something else. The government is meant to protect us. The police is meant to protect us, not to destroy us, not to maim us, not to kill us. You put a lot of fear in our people. You put a lot of fear in our children. Do something. If you want to rule us, not to govern. If you want to rule us, be careful. Be careful.
Ida was talking as a mother, and she said that she knows the pain of losing a loved one. Not just losing a loved one, but losing it in a careless manner. When by a trigger of a bullet, you killed someone's child. Just by pulling a trigger. A moment, a second of carelessness deprives somebody the right of having a child. I want to say this, and I've always maintained for those who follow this channel, that William Ruto had the best opportunity to unite this country. And I thought this was at the heart of his administration. Because when William Ruto came to power, they told us that their win and victory was given by God. William Ruto has always said that he is a Christian. And just to say it, because we all know that William Ruto has a church where Mama Rachel has always told us that she even prays for miracles. At one point she told us that when they were digging some well there, the water was bitter and it could not be consumed, and then she prayed for it, and to date that water is being consumed. Our second lady, Mama Dorcas, has a church, and so we are led by people who by the outer look, they are Christians, yet they don't want to unite this country. Remember when Kibaki took power in 2007, people had to go to the streets to fight. Blood was shed. In 2017, when Uhuru Kenyatta in his second term, people fought because people knew that there was an illegality in an electoral process. William Ruto ascended to power without people going to the streets, and he mistook that for weakness, for peace, and is taking advantage of this. Let me tell you, we are in a country where people have got undertones and they don't want to say it. You are radicalizing our youths, and they will live to hate the police. I remember during Uhuru's rule, Uhuruto, they wanted to restructure the police to be a disciplined force. Uhuru even allowed the police to mingle with us, to stay with us in the community, so that there could be a friendly and an amicable relationship between the police and the common man, the civilian. But then when you unleash the police to kill innocent people, youths are growing up, another youth is growing up knowing very well that a police killed my brother or my sister. Then very soon you will see something like a guerrilla war. Guerrilla war simply means where someone will find a police in a vulnerable situation and they may want to hit the police. I have had people even asking for weapons. They're telling leaders, give us the guns. And with a country with loose borders where we have proliferation of guns, we have the bandits and Al-Shabaab everywhere. Let me tell you today, if you get a person whose child has been killed by the police, or a brother someone whose brother has been killed by the police, and Al-Shabaab tells them, you come, I'm going to train you for 6 months, and when you come, we will attack the police, I can assure you they will go. And Ida Odinga is warning that you should not think that you've got everything. And she told them, the stones can be the weapons. The stone simply means the simplest weapon that you can ever think of. We do not want our country to degenerate into unthinkable economic and political crisis. There are policemen who are just too good. They maintain law and order in accordance with the law. But how do you separate them? Because it's not written in their countenance that this is a bad policeman or a good policeman. They will be treated equally, and soon you will see this kind of enmity like that of a dog and a cat. While the policemen are our brothers and sisters and we need to stay with them peacefully, the current administration is creating an unnecessary rift. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not only the LUOs, but any community or any innocent Kenyan that is being targeted might want to defend themselves. Because how can we sit back and watch our youths being retrieved from the houses when they are sleeping? And even if you argue that they were killed during the demonstrations, the Constitution allows us to go and picket. But if you argue that they were, they were aggressive to the police, can you prove that beyond reasonable doubt? Because what we have proved are scenes of policemen, some crook people, traveling in ambulances and hitting people aimlessly using, bullets, and we don't even know whether they are policemen. We see people in Subarus with foreign number plates. How then do we certify that these are policemen? The last time I checked, the police has a mandate to protect those who are demonstrating and those who don't want to go for demonstrations. Legitimacy can never be achieved by killing people. If I were William Samoei Ruto, because this is my last point, if William Ruto is listening, people have a feeling that elections were never conducted in the right manner. The best way to gain legitimacy is to get down, work for the people, bring down the cost of living. With that, no one will question your legitimacy. Because all people want is equitable distribution of resources. Give people jobs, give them an environment where investors will not be running away. Call your dogs into order to stop barking. Stop chest thumping. Accept to talk with your enemies. This is the best way to heal a nation. When you realize that someone feels that you robbed him of his victory, call them. Don't think Uhuru Kenyatta was a fool to accept to talk to Raila Odinga. Because the two of you, I have always said, you control masses. Raila controls millions of voters, and you control as well millions of voters. When you think that because you have the bullet you can do whatever you want, it is a recipe for disaster. Again, I say, William Ruto, you have the best opportunity to unite this country. Stop radicalizing your people. Stop creating a rift between the civilian and the police, because let me tell you, no one will love the police when they kill people aimlessly without any reason. Luo lives matter. Luos are also members and citizens of this country. Luos are also taxpayers. This kind of genocide will not be accepted.